Sleepy Hollow Season 4, Episode 6, Homecoming. Really, really good episode. It was a great episode. I was excited for them to go back to Sleepy Hollow because, of course, they've kind of moved the show to DC. And I was like, alright, sweet, they're going back to Sleepy Hollow. Let's see how this plays out. And at first it was like, yeah, this is what I expected. They're just doing a normal mission, and they did some cool callbacks to the show. They went to the old bar. They, of course, were at the old archive building and everything. And it was really cool. And they had, they did flashbacks of Abby from both Ichabod as well as Ginny's perspectives, and just them dealing with having to move on still within this crazy world that they're in, but no longer with Abby. So I love the way that they did that. And then it got closer and closer to the end of the episode, and I was like, oh, this isn't just like a cool callback episode because they're in Sleepy Hollow. This is like, I felt like this could have been like a mid-season finale sort of thing. They capture Job at the end, towards the end of this episode. I don't know what happened to the Headless Horseman. I was trying to figure it out. Like, I rewound it and everything. I'm like, is he officially dead? What happened there? Because they talk about how he's vulnerable on the stone, and then there's no shots of him after the scene where he was literally, shot by the bullets. And I love that scene too because they have like the blue flames come out. So I had no idea what was happening. I was like, I assume he died because he was shot like in the chest and stuff. And if he's vulnerable, then being shot in the chest will typically do it for you. So I assumed that he died. Plus the explosion, I didn't see him leave or anything like that. But I don't know if if that's official or if they're changing that or what the deal is, because it was just like he's vulnerable on the stone. And then there's no like quick shot of him just dead on the ground or anything like that. So I'm like, is he gone? Is he not gone? But Job has been captured. The Headless Horseman may or may not be gone. And then Dreyfuss actually becomes immortal. So, of course, I think we all knew that that was going to happen because it's like they captured Job, possibly killed the Horseman. They have to make Dreyfuss immortal. They can't like capture and kill everything in the show and it's like, sweet, we're done. Because that's exactly what they think at the end of the episode. Like, we'll tackle whatever comes next. And it's just random demon stuff for them. But, like, as far as the show goes, that's their life. Of course, everything is like, alright, we think it's done. As viewers of a show, we know that they aren't going to kill, solve the problem in the first couple episodes after finding out. I think it's only been like an episode or 2 episodes since they actually found out Dreyfuss was involved with actual magical stuff. There's no way that storyline was going to be like, we found out, we have this big thing in the last episode, and now he's dead, we're done. We knew that wasn't going to happen, so I'm excited to see where they take this. I'm very curious when the world's going to happen, because he's immortal. He never seemed to have a real issue with them. That could change because he was somewhat attached to Job as far as, using him for magic and stuff. And I'm still curious what the deal is with Job actually following him around and helping him cheat death. Like, I still feel like there's got to be something there because it just made no sense why this demon contractor would let him do that unless it has something to do with the fact that, Malik, who is considered the devil in the series, is gone. So it's really hard to say, but he's captured for now, so I guess that doesn't even matter. We won't get that answer for quite a while. But Dreyfuss is now immortal. We don't know what the heck happened to the Headless Horseman, unless there was something I missed. But like I said, I even rewound it to make sure that I wasn't missing anything, and it didn't seem like I did for sure. So maybe I did still. You guys have to just let me know. But I'm like, I don't really know what to expect as far as what they're going into next. But I love the way it ended, and I love what they did, and this is probably like my favorite thing in the whole episode. But when it's revealed that Ichabod and the Headless Horseman died on top of the Philosopher's Stone, I was like, that's awesome, because that's been there the entire series. That's in the first episode. We see that shape, and they both fall down, and the blood like goes through it and stuff. And as soon as Dreyfuss said that, he was like, this doesn't look familiar to you, and they showed it from like that top-down perspective. I was like, holy crap, this has been there the whole series, and they actually made something of it. Because I don't know, it makes me wonder if they had that plan from the beginning. I kind of doubt it, because it could have just been like a random symbol or something, but maybe not. It's hard to say. I would have to do some research on that, but that kind of blew my mind. I was like, holy crap, that's like from the first episode where they show him die. They both, drop around like this random little stone patch. And I always noticed that. I always thought it was interesting because they're on the random battlefield, and it was just like this little bit of concrete was peeking through the ground. I always noticed that, but I never really thought anything of it, and even when they showed it, cleared out, I didn't think anything of it, just like Ichabod. He's like, you don't find this familiar in any way? And then as soon as they showed it, I was like, holy crap, that's where they both died at. And I just thought that was an amazing connection. So great job on that as far as I'm concerned, because I'm like, wow, that's not something that they just made up and they like kind of put it in there at random. It's like, that is, I've seen that shot. They've shown that shot who knows how many times throughout these 4 seasons of Ichabod and the Headless Horseman just dropping to their death right above the Philosopher's Stone. So very cool callback to basically the beginning of the series. Like, yep, it's been here this whole time. And they actually make it a part of the story where it's like, he was basically used pretty much. And that was a very interesting part of the story where that's kind of revealed, like, yeah, that's kind of why you were sent here. You were used in order to complete this mission. And I thought that was very interesting. And, they even have the flashback of Ichabod, and he's like, like, something seems wrong with my buddy. It's like, it's good to see you and stuff like that. And he talks about, I can't think of the guy's name, but he talks about how, he was like, I wasn't beholden to anyone and stuff like that. And he kind of references that without being able to actually say, like, hey, you're being used and controlled a little bit. And it was just a very good scene. I was like, I like the way that this is playing out because he knows what Ichabod is heading into. But despite, him disagreeing with it, ultimately he does go through with it because the greater good, pretty much. It's like, it sucks, but it's like, yeah, it's kind of just better this way, I guess. That's the only way that you can really say it. But I love the way they did it. I really enjoyed how this episode really peaked towards the end. And like I said, in general, it was a good episode. It was good callbacks. The mission itself was interesting. They go up against the crazy Anubis creature. That was really simple too. Like, at first it seemed like it was going to be this really big issue, and it was like, oh, that wasn't too bad at all. Like, once they actually pick up the talisman, it just like fell over. Like, and I love the way they did it too, because they had it distracted and stuff. And then Jenny's like, oh, we must have the talisman, and it was kind of just like, pew, and she just shot it, and like, it seemed like she shot it in the arm pretty much, and it just fell over and disintegrated. I was like, oh, that's actually a lot easier than I thought. Like, it would, of course, would have completely wiped them out if they got hit by one of those arrows. It would have disintegrated them. But it was simpler than I thought. And then that's, of course, when it picks up, because the door locks behind them. And I was like, that's what I was waiting for, because I figured there'd be some sort of trap or something. And I thought that would lead to, like, oh, there's poison gas about to leak into the room or something random like that. And it was like, nope, it locks. And it was super simple. All they had to do was just open the door, which happens within, like, a minute. But within that time, here comes Job, and we find out that he can just teleport stuff away, because he's like, give me that, and then it just disappears from Ichabod's hand, and he has it. And then Job disappears, and he takes Ichabod with him, and I was like, oh, well, I guess he's super powerful, because he's just teleporting things and people without even having to touch him. He's like, I want that, poof, and now I have it. So that's when it really kicked up, and I was like, wow, I was not expecting this at all. So I really like the way they did it. Jake and Alex had some good stuff in this episode where they're talking about how they're actually excited to really be making a difference and stuff. And of course, this was kind of Jenny's side of it, with her returning to Sleepy Hollow. The darker side of that, where it's like, you can be excited, but really you shouldn't be, because you can die. And she was worried about them, and she's gone through losing people before. So I like the way that they played around with that idea. I think she had the better side of it, as far as, and it makes more sense as her own sister instead of Ichabod. It's like, she's just a really good friend. But I like the way they did her side of the story, where she was thinking about that, and I just thought it was really well done, like, just losing people that you really care about. And then, of course, they do have that, like I said, with Ichabod, especially during the sequence when they're at the bar and they have the flashback, and they show all the characters and stuff, which I thought was cool. We saw Holly, and I don't know if he'll ever come back in this show, but they showed him. They showed the detective from the last season who randomly left the show, like I mentioned early on. Like, it's like, I thought she was going to be in it, and she was going to. But I liked that. I thought it was a really good episode. And the next one seems to really focus a lot more on them actually getting into the witness stuff, where, of course, I really messing up with the names, but Diana's daughter, because now I can remember her name, she ends up going into a little bit of research, looking for answers as far as what it means to be a witness, what witnesses are, and stuff like that. And she finds herself dealing with a monster, so they actually have to save her. And I'm excited for them to get into that, because they've been keeping that from her, and they've been getting closer and closer to it, of course. So this they kind of have to now. It's like, alright, yeah, Monster tried to kill you, it's time to explain some things. But I think this was a really good episode. Like I said, personally, I feel like this could have been a mid-season finale, just the way it all kicked off. What I think is really going to be the next part of this season, because we have a guy who's now immortal. We still don't know what he's going to do, because he might be mad at them for trying to kill him and stop his plans. So he might be like, well, now that I'm immortal, screw it, why not? So it's hard to say where he's headed, because he never really cared that much. But he's immortal now, so it's like, is he going to attack them out of rage? Or is he just going to be like, I'm immortal and I'm going to move on with my life? So it's up in the air. It's a coin toss at this point. But I feel like he'll attack them, at least for Job. And Job might go after them, considering the whole demon thing. He might just go after them just out of pure spite. So who knows where it's headed. But I would love to know what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, least favorite parts. And I definitely want to know where you guys think they're headed with Dreyfuss now that he is immortal. Do you think he'll attack the team? Do you think that it won't matter? Like, it's going to matter, of course, because it's going to be like, tech billionaire Dreyfuss did this. And they're like, crap, he's not dead. So there's going to be something there. They're going to try to stop him from being immortal. But would love to know how you guys think that's going to play out. If it'll be a neutral sort of thing. If he will end up being an enemy once again. Where's all that stuff headed? And of course, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general. So please comment below. Let me know. And thanks for watching.